we're moving on to Nightwing. I actually think from this first Nightwing 35, which Sam Humphries is writing and Bernard Chang is on art, that Humphries might end up being a better Nightwing writer than Seeley was.
Potentially.
Because I feel like I was really into this issue. I like most of what it's doing. I like the build of this villain, the judge that they're setting up, and I like the art a lot as well, which is not really Humphries necessarily.
Yeah, that's Chang.
Honestly, I think the biggest benefit between the two writers is, for a lot of Seeley's stuff, he was calling back to Grayson, and it played on. It was just the next step of that story still, whereas this actually feels like a fresh story now.
It does.
So
it does feel fresh.
In that sense, and it's not necessarily that it's better, but it's definitely easier to jump onto from the start.
I don't know. I feel like, and obviously I like Seeley's Nightwing. I was enjoying it pretty much the whole way through. Start to finish. But I don't know. I feel like I'm liking the tone of this issue. I'm liking the feel of the city.
Agree. And something that you mentioned on art, and just to go back to, I mentioned on the first issue of Seeley on Green Lanterns, I kind of mentioned how it's the same artist. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a shift to indicate that there's a new run. Whereas here, no, it's very clearly different. It's like,
very different.
This is a different story, different tone, different art.
Yeah, it's playing with the whole idea of the nightlights of the city. There's a lot of that in the background throughout.
Yeah.
Nightwing's a little bit bulkier.
That first page is beautifully purple.
It is, a lot of neon and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's really, really, I like this a lot. And obviously it's not disregarding the previous run, so Vaboda is still a main thing here that they're using. He's using her.
It's still... Seeley left Nightwing in a good spot for Humphries to do what he needed to do. He kind of closed out some other things, so it could feel fresh. Like with the Raptors, but Svoboda being there, that's some nice continuity between arcs.
And he's got a new gig. He's got a new sort of gym that he trains people at. It's not doing super well yet. He's only got 3 people, and one of them's pissed that it's not private lessons. But
just the whole culture of Bloodhaven, where you can just give people money, and they, as a tip, quote unquote. I thought that was a nice thing.
Also, I really like when we were introduced to this idea, and we got even the floor plan is one of the panels of the thing. It says Nightwing in the back and business in the front, and I actually laughed because it made me think of his mullet from the 90s.
Yep, it couldn't have been an accident.
No.
And speaking of things for fans of Dick, there is a phenomenal ass shot as he gets into the ice bath.
I thought you said fans of Dick.
Very good. Very good.
That's fans of ass, I think you'll find, sir.
Yes.
No, this is good stuff, and I'm liking this villain, the judge, who they have some flashbacks to indicate that Dick's ran into him a couple of times before, and this idea that he can just whisper something to you and give you the gold chip, the gold poker chip, and he can make you do something. So we see this old woman at the casino just stab the dealer, like it's nothing.
Yeah, he gives you what you want, and man. That I feel like that tree, the Justice Tree, that was planted in Bloodhaven, that's such a cool concept. I wonder how that's going to come into play.
Well, he mentions there's something wrong with the leaves, and he's asking his body to look into it. So
it's so kind of on the nose symbolic, isn't it? But it's I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about just how hench Dick is? Like that scene where he's in the gym. And he's just got the 2 weights on either hand.
I love it.
Just going. He's like, he's huge.
So wait, what does hench mean? Hench just means built.
Chunky.
Really bulky.
Okay.
Really chunky Dick.
Gotcha.
On the art, I actually do. I'm liking just a slightly different look to the Nightwing suit. Just the thicker symbol, not the thin stripes instead. I prefer. So it's just a personal taste thing. It's not really that it's better necessarily, but
you're saying you like
it.
thicker dick than thinner dick.
I'm saying I like thicker dick than thinner dick. Yes.
Get that drop.
Oh dear.
I'm really glad to have Chang around. I really like his art.
I do.
Been a fan for a while.
So he finds out about the judge. He talks to Guppy, the shark fellow, the shark gentleman, and
again, never questioned once why there was a shark-headed guy walking around.
No, just went with it, didn't they?
But that's the thing. We've already had Orca. We've already had various
Bloodhaven attracts these fellows.
Gorilla Grimm. We had
that's what I mean. You just accept it, and it's cool. You got him running around, and fine. You find out about his dad. His dad was some what was it again?
stalling
Yes,
till
you
Matt
talked
finds the
about it.
page. Yes. Connor, so the big cliffhanger at the end, though, is that the judge has gotten to Svoboda, and she shoots Dick off the roof.
Yeah. I love the way this sequence plays out. Like just the structure, the art and the panel layout.
Well, I think a big part of
yeah.
it as well is you have the narration from the judge throughout the issue, sort of talking about how he's coming after Nightwing and how he doesn't know he's coming, and
it plays so well because you focus in on the gun, on that, it goes just to the bold colors, and then you have Nightwing falling off at the top, and then the title come up, and then as it comes down,
it's the bright night lights again behind him of the city as he's falling. It just looks really pretty.
Colors are gorgeous.
And what I like about it is the whole issue, you feel like the judge is aware of Nightwing, he's coming for him, and Nightwing's not going to see it coming. And at the end of the issue, that you actually see it play out. You see the moment where he did not see it coming, and Svoboda shoots him. And she's got the gold chip. I think you get it anyway, but just to make you sure she has that gold chip.
Yeah.
It shines.
I think it's nice because it stops it being like a false cliffhanger. There's no, next issue, she had the gold chip. I mean, because we'd assume that anyway, but there's no, maybe she's gone rogue.
Yeah, I wouldn't have faulted it because I feel like there's enough information in the book to guess why she's done it.
There is. But it doesn't even bother pretending that's an option. It's just like,
that's fair.
We don't even want you to consider that.
If the judge gives you what you want, and she just wants Nightwing to be gone, then that's the way to do it. She tries to shoot him. But what I was gonna say about Guppy is it said that his dad was King Sturgeon, and he was mutated by some amulet. But so he's been running around.
Yeah, but I can't say I had much knowledge on Guppy before this, so...
No, either did I. So I didn't know if he was an established character that they just used because he looks cool.
I feel like he probably is. I feel like anytime there's a little character list that pops up, I'm always like, that's been pulled out of some random issue of Detective Comics from the 70s.
I love how many fish people DC has.
Yeah.
It's just the way that Svoboda says it. It says, his dad was King Surgeon, some old school bad guy, mutated by an aquatic amulet, or something dumb like that. Just like the way that she dismisses it. But it's normal for the blood, so...
Yeah, I like this issue a lot. I'm actually really... Because I was a little bit nervous before. I was like, what if this isn't as good? And I'm like, Nightwing's kind of like not a great book anymore. And, immediately I was kind of drawn into it, and I'm really into it.
It's got real style.
It's got potential. I'm feeling potential for this run.
What's funny is Nightwing's been the one character that since I started getting back into comics, I've always read that book. Like, I've dropped Flash at a certain point when Venditti was writing it, and I dropped Superman... But I've always had Dick Grayson in one book or another, whether it was Grayson or Nightwing.
Well, you can't not have
or Batman.
Dick. You can't give up Dick.
Yeah.
Always need Dick
Gotta
in
have
your
your
life.
hands full of Dick.
Yeah.
Gotta have your monthly dose.
Yeah.
Monthly dose of Dick.
Yeah. Swallow it right up, Matt.
No.
So.
Are we ever gonna get bored of these?
No.
Dick jokes never get old. I'm sorry. They're great.
We're about 12, right?
It feels that way at times. Anyway, so the only thing I'd add on to Nightwing before we move on is that I guess we shouldn't have been worried, because I think the big thing is, like, when they announced he was leaving Green Lanterns to do this, he's like, I didn't necessarily want to leave Green Lanterns, but I was offered like the dream gig, and the idea that this is someone he's always wanted to write is maybe why it is so good. Like maybe why people weren't as hot on Humphries when he was doing stuff at Marvel. Maybe he just hadn't got the character that he really loved yet, and it was like all the ideas he'd ever had to pour into them. So. Maybe that's it. I mean, but we enjoyed Green Lanterns. He did quite well in that after the first arc.
He was solid on Green Lanterns, don't get me wrong. But and that was, up till then, that was the best thing I've ever read from him by far. This already, I feel like maybe it's the added extra, the art that's working more for me as well with the style. But I feel like I'm going to enjoy this more than I did his Green Lanterns. Yeah,
I feel like Seeley and Humphries are both benefiting from swapping books, which is actually kind of weird, but it's cool. Yeah, great.